Yeah, I think 2023 is probably going to be a recovery year. So we've seen that, in bear markets, a lot of people get shaken out. But the guys who stay, they will actually lay the foundations for the next bull run. And also, even though as bad as 2022 is, we call it a winter. But this winter is way warmer than the last one. The bottom of the last one is like $3,000 and this winter the bottom is like $16,000, which is still like 6x improvement. So I think going into 2023, we just gotta continue building products people use. I think we're seeing a number of other use cases instead of just trading. NFTs are getting traction, DeFi is getting traction, payments are getting traction, remittances are getting traction. So all of those use cases, I think, will continue to build into 2023. Binance Card, I think, is now available in 5-6 countries. We're adding 9 more in the next quarter or so. So a lot of things are happening. So yeah, and then also wallets. I think we still need a lot more better wallets in the ecosystem. So we'll continue to invest a lot more there. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of different stuff. I don't have a specific blueprint. We'll figure it out.
Changpeng Zhao, commonly known as CZ, is the head of Binance and following the FTX collapse is truly the face and head of the crypto industry, with its crypto exchange Binance withstanding all the FUD of 2022 and emerging by far the biggest exchange, dwarfing the next largest Coinbase by around a multiple of 5. In CZ's latest interview, he wraps up what was a turbulent year for markets in 2022, but explains to investors why they should be optimistic for a recovery year and the birth of a new bull run in 2023. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where CZ finally addresses all the FUD surrounding their proof of reserves, huge exchange outflows they have been seeing, and puts to rest if Binance is in any position to go under in the future. Also, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you enjoy finance content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free and you can always change your mind.
Also, for me, this is the third winter. I came into crypto at the end of 2013, beginning of 2014. That was a high. In December 2013, Bitcoin reached the high of $1,000, and then it dropped for like 2 years. And then 2017, it reached another high of $19,000. And then there was a winter, so that was my second. And then 2021, there was another all-time high of 68,000. And then now we're kind of in a winter again. So this is the third time for me, and this is the second time for Binance. We have this mentality that this will happen. So even though the history doesn't predict the future, well, we kind of know that crypto goes through these crazy cycles. And traditional stock markets also go through this crazy cycles. So for me, this is nothing new. This is fully expected. This didn't catch us by surprise. And actually, we are benefiting from it. We're leveraging this opportunity. We're hiring more people. We're investing in more companies. We're doing more mergers and acquisitions. We're helping the industry to grow. So we're actually taking advantage of this opportunity. So I am pretty confident. I'm very confident we will survive the winter. And this winter is actually way warmer than the last couple of winters. The winter in 2014, Bitcoin price was $200. The winter in 2018, the Bitcoin price was $3,000 at the lowest point. Right now, we're still like $16,000, $17,000, $18,000. We're fine. So I'm pretty confident we will survive. We have the cash reserves. We're still profitable even today. We've been profitable through Binance has been profitable through the last 2 crypto winters. We're totally fine. So I'm pretty sure we will survive. Yeah, I think 2022 has definitely been what you call a dynamic year. A lot of bad things happened. There's Terra, Luna, UST, and then there's FTX. There's a bunch of other collateral damage, 3 Arrows, Genesis, Voyager, etc. So there's a lot of failures. There's a lot of shakeouts. But at the same time, there's still a lot of development going on. There's a lot of building. So Ethereum moved away from proof of work into a proof of stake, what we call the merge, which is a very significant step if you think about how much implications that has. So that's a very big one. NFT is still moving forward. We're seeing Twitter allowing users to upload NFTs of their profiles, Facebook, Reddit, all following that. The blockchain technologies continue to advance. So we see more layer one protocols launching. We see more zero knowledge ZK proofs making progress. BNB chain launched its zero knowledge scaling technology, ZK BNB, and a number of other projects on ZK EVM applying to launch next year. Many countries started to look at central bank digital currencies, etc. And Binance over 2022 have got 14 licenses globally, and about I can't remember the exact number, maybe like somewhere around 8 to 10 licenses in the US. Binance US got 8 to 10 new licenses in 2022. So that's pretty significant. Internationally, Binance.com, France, Italy, Spain, Poland, Cyprus, Australia, New Zealand, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Bahrain, Kazakhstan, and Japan and South Africa. So all of these countries, we got registrations or licenses this year. So as much FUD as there is, there's a lot of progress. So and also at Binance.com, I think we're quite proud to stick to our values in these turbulent times. So we are increasing the user transparency. We topped up our Seifu fund to $1 billion again because of the crypto price dropped. Our business continued to grow. We surpassed 120, 130 million users globally. We have 7,800, 900 employees right now with over 100 nationalities all over the world. And also we have invested more than 500 million through Binance Labs on Web3 and blockchain projects. So Binance NFT has 600,000 weekly users and 3 million gaming NFTs listed. And Binance Academy hosted 26 million unique visitors to our learning materials in 2022 alone. And we donated $15 million US dollars equivalent in 2022 to different projects life-changing projects in 20 different countries. So all of this is happening. And we've seen growth in the number of users actually. So in this industry, and as much as we see issues in the industry, I think the strong players are still growing. Oh, and lastly, BUSD is now the third largest market cap stablecoin. BUSD is not issued by Binance; it's issued by Paxos, which is an NYDFS regulated entity. And it has the largest, highest fiat backing, 96%, and 4% in treasury bills. So all of those things are happening. So there's a lot of FUD, there's a lot of skepticism, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of questions, but also there's a lot of the strong builders are building. So I think 2022 is a dynamic year, and it's tough, but we're still progressing. I think more recently, we've seen more fear because more fear on the centralized exchanges part. So I think many of the fear come from the same people that were rooting for specific centralized exchanges that have failed. And now they think every other centralized exchange will fail. But understand that businesses are different. Even businesses in the same industry are different. So just because one restaurant fails doesn't mean another restaurant is destined to fail. So and there are good managers and bad managers in businesses. So we're seeing that happening. But overall, the consumer confidence is shaken, and the regulatory scrutiny will increase. So we do see quite a lot of fear in the industry. But overall, we just recommend people to adopt your risk management principles, be risk averse. And for crypto businesses, never use your native token as collateral. Share life of proof. Be more transparent. Keep strong reserves. Avoid excessive leverage, and build very strong security protocols. So I think the strong projects are still going. And on top of that, we launched a recovery initiative, or some people call it a fund, but it's not a traditional fund. So many crypto players like Jump Crypto, Polygon, and then Binance committed to more than $1 billion US, and we're actually deploying those funds to different projects in the crypto space. So a lot of things are happening. There is some shakeup, but guess what? We've seen this many times. When a problem happens to one centralized exchange, people do withdraw a bit more from centralized exchanges. And then when a DeFi rug pull happens, people move their funds back into centralized exchanges. So the funds move back and forth. And we want to provide more choices for our users. So we're happy with anywhere they store crypto, as long as they come into crypto. So I think, look, the current crypto businesses are becoming much more transparent than traditional businesses, including banks, traditional financial institutions, etc. So we're able to do proof of reserves on the blockchain. I know there is a lot of questions about proof of liabilities, audits, and all of this topics. Well, there's a few different topics here. Number one is the proof of reserves. We have to do step by step. We Binance have a lot of different coins. We have 600 different assets that's supported on Binance, and we have a lot of trading pairs. We have a lot of products, including margins, loans, etc. So within our user ecosystem. So to be able to do proof of reserves on all of these assets takes some time. So we did BTC first, and then we're doing Ethereum, BNB, and the top coins first. The top coins cover 90-something% of the user assets. It changes from day to day, but no, they cover the majority. So it does take time. So we're doing that. We want to get the results out fast instead of waiting for a quarter and do them completely. So we're doing one by one, asset by asset, and we'll continue to increase the coverage of the proof of reserves. The second thing is people ask about is audits. Right now, having third-party audit firms are important, and we're working with a number of them right now. But many of the traditional audit firms are not so familiar with crypto, so we're actually educating them on how to do proof of reserves, etc. So that's also ongoing. And then the third part is about liabilities. It's actually quite difficult. So we could do an audit, say, look, we have no liabilities, and traditional firms have the liabilities versus assets, etc., and they will match up. And we are quite a unique organization. We actually don't have any loans from any other organization. We don't have loans from banks. We don't have loans from funds. And for many people in certain jurisdictions, especially in loan-heavy jurisdictions, in the Western world, most businesses will have loans, will have liabilities. We actually don't have much of that. Well, we actually don't have any of the loans, and we don't have any other liabilities. This is hard for people to understand sometimes. But whereas though in other parts of the world, many businesses do not have loans to begin with, and they are always profitable. So we ran a very simple business. So one of the reasons I believe that I was not successful in Web 2 is the Web 2 world, most of the companies go for size and they burn cash to get to size. So they raise VC money round after round, and they burn through those money to get to size. And then they worry about business model, like how do you make revenue? Some businesses made it. Google, Facebook, Amazon. Amazon first turned a profit 9 years after funding, and 7 years after going public. I'm not very comfortable with those type of business models. And another example, Uber. Even today, I believe Uber has never made a profit. So as big as Uber and as valuable as Uber is, they just never turn a profit. For me, I'm not very comfortable with those kind of business models. I actually much prefer simpler business models where you always have a profit and you always self-sustain. So there's a lot of questions about that, but Binance is a very solid business in this regard. So there's a lot of questions, but over time we will address all of them, and we will prove all the FUD is wrong. So to be honest, the outflows and inflows are very common in crypto. On a bull run, in the bull market, we see like billions of dollars net deposits every single day, and our system actually sometimes have trouble handling the sheer volume just because of system performance, not so much because of anything else. And 2 weeks ago, I think different reports reported different numbers actually. So there's different ways to calculate that number. And some people reported in the highest day, $6 billion was withdrawn from Binance. That caused some fear from some users to withdraw more, which is fine. It's your asset. We have your asset one-to-one on Binance. We always have the reserves. And I think the fact that we process that much in a day shows that we do have the reserve. We do have the reserve, which is a simple part. The harder part is actually handling system performance. Many of the blockchains are slow. Many of the banks that we depend on are slow. So it's actually working through those technical issues that are more important for us. So we handle, it's your asset. You can deposit, you can withdraw, you can trade, you can do whatever you want. We hold reserves one-to-one. Actually, historically, interestingly, Christmas is usually around the time that people withdraw more. I don't know if it's people have got to buy presents for their families or I don't know what it is. But on usually Christmas time, people withdraw more. And then come January and February, people like want to trade more because they have New Year resolutions. They're gonna make more money and stuff like that. So it's very normal. Not like it's coincided with a lot of FUD. The FUD probably amplify the amount of fear, and people probably withdraw more. But for us, it's fine. Look, if you have fear, withdraw. If you want to trade, deposit back. Christmas is usually a holiday season, and there's usually lower trading volumes. And before that, people usually withdraw a bit more. Nothing really out of the ordinary. And to be honest, 6 billion is like less than 10% of our reserves. So 10% of withdrawals in a single day, not a big deal. Bitcoin price is actually a good indicator of our industry. You can see that Bitcoin price can still move more than 10% in a single day. So it's all normal market behavior, but the media really amplifies it to make it like a big issue. But this happens all the time.